Hi, today we are installing this fuel pressure gauge for the cab. It's not too hard, and this is on a 2003 F250 6.0. We'll jump right into it. First thing you're probably going to want to do is disconnect this. It's just this clamp right here and that one down there, and then I just wiggled it out and kind of got it out of the way just so we could get to right here where we're going to put our gauge in. I had a little bit, so this is the plug that you're taking out. I had a little bit of a problem with mine. It was stripped. I'm guessing, I don't know, someone else stripped it apparently, so I had to use a speed out to get it out. But hopefully you should just need a set of these Allen wrenches or the socket Allen wrenches, and hopefully you can get right in here and just spin that guy out. Next, for this particular kit I'm using, and I'm thinking most kits, you're gonna need this adapter piece that is gonna adapt from the 6.0 to your kit here. All right, now we got our little adapter here. We're gonna put in our little hole there. You might wanna oil your O-ring here just to make sure everything seats properly, and then we're just gonna tighten this in. This is a 14 metric, or I believe it's 9/16 for standard. This thing, anytime you're doing these fuel filling fittings, should use some Teflon tape. That's what it recommends with the kit directions as well, say to use Teflon tape, so that's what I'm doing. Next, we're gonna screw in the actual sensor. It already comes with some sort of thread sealer. It's a 22 metric. I think a 7/8 will work. And yeah, just got to screw that in there. And then we're gonna put our plug. You just push on, it will click over, and now we're just gonna route our wire. I'm gonna try to go away from things that are hot, and over back here. All right, so I think where we want to drill through is this thing right there. It has like the X on it, and try to get it to focus. Yeah, that piece right there with the X and the arrow pointing up, I think you want to drill through there. And then I think you need a grommet to make sure that your wires don't get cut going through there. And then you just fish your wire through. All right, we finally got this through. I ended up drilling a 1/2-inch hole through the firewall, kind of like it shows in this picture. And then to feed it through, I actually taped this. I stuck this through the hole from this side, from cab side, and then I taped it to this, and then kind of wiggled it through, because I was having a hard time feeding it through because this wasn't really stiff enough to get all the way through. So if you're having trouble, that's maybe one way to do it. Okay, so if you pull off this piece of trim, which just pulls off, it will be kind of hard, but just give it a good tug. You can feed your wire up through here. It's not super easy. It's easier to have two people if you have small hands and can like reach in here farther, the better. But you can feed your wire up here. You have to, oh, sorry, before you pull this off, you need to unbolt this from the frame. It's just some 8 metric bolts. There's 4 of them there. So just pull off the covers here. And I used this pick right here. Scoop the covers out really easy. Come really easy out with that pick. I'll link the kit that this comes in the description. Okay, so this is gonna sit in there like this. This cutout should go right here. So taking this out, I think we'll be able to slide it up in there and try to make it fit real nice and good. So I'm gonna try to do that. All right, so you're gonna put your gauge in your trim piece here. Put the hood over this, then push this through the hole, and then on the other side, you're gonna plug in this harness and the one that you put through your firewall, and then we're gonna mount this up there. Okay, I got this all wired and everything done. what I ended up doing, which I know this is blinking in the video, it is not in real life. I don't know why, if that's an LED thing or what, but underneath here on this actual piece, I drilled a 1/2 inch hole and I fed those wires down so they could come straight down, because they kept getting pinched when I tried to feed them through that back corner or any other spot. They kept getting pinched and stuff wasn't sitting right. So I fed them down, drilled a hole and fed them down, and that seemed to work easier. Made sure that all this went under or over this piece, and it's under this guy, and then I screwed those back in, and I actually lost the cover for those, so hopefully you guys still have yours and can put those back on so they look nice, but I lost mine. Okay, and then I fed the wires down through here. On the ground, I just got a self-tapping metal screw, and I attached the wire to a little eyelet and drilled that into there and made sure it was tight so it has a good connection. And these other ones, I bought these things which will tap into a fuse. So for the dimmer one, I used this headlight one down here. So you put the same fuse in there, and then a new one for your new device or whatever. And then you tie them, I have one for my radio that I tied in, so that's my radio one, but this is the dimmer for the fuel pressure thing, the fuel pressure gauge. Then I believe this one is the constant, and I think this one is the one that's only on when the key is on. Let me double check the colors. Okay, so the yellow one I put right here, which I believe is the one that's only on when the key is on. And the red one I put here, which is on all the time. And I found these by using a volt reader, or like one of those test lights. So I connected to the ground and then found that this one was on all the time, even with the key out, and this one was only on when the key was on. So that's how I found that. And then this one is just a headlight fuse, so that when the headlights go on, the light dims so that it's not bright at night when you're trying to see. And then I just kind of taped these on so that they're routed nicely out the side. And my fuse cover is not fitting. I'm gonna have to do a little reworking there, but I just haven't had time to do that because I need my truck. So I haven't made all the wires pretty per se, but it is working. So we will turn this on real quick and I'll show you that it's working. So it's immediately going up. Shows me that I'm at 50 and works while we're driving. So super awesome. So one reason that you might want to do this upgrade is if you just got new injectors, or even if you didn't and you're just trying to protect your injectors. This helps you make sure that your fuel pressure is staying above 40 psi, so that you're not taking out your injectors on accident because you don't realize that your fuel pressure is dropping. So that's the main reason that I did it, is because I just got new injectors and I wanted to make sure that my fuel pressure wasn't causing any problems with them. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope that you have fun installing it and that it works great for you. As always, stay independent out there.